Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So John Boyega has gone on to Vanity Fair to discuss his idea for the sequel trilogy, and I thought it would be fun to talk about and read and analyze it with you guys and give a reaction. So here we go. Boyega has spoken before about his experience on a galaxy far, far away, but in a new interview with Vanity Fair, Boyega opened up about some of the specific themes and ideas he wishes the trilogy would have explored, some focusing on Finn, some on other familiar characters. So he says, to a certain extent, there should have been a Stormtrooper rebellion, Boyega told Vanity Fair, and then to flesh out Luke's character a bit more, give him more moments of redemption, which I feel like was needed after 8. Okay, so it seems like he agrees as well that Luke needed definitely a lot more fleshing out after Episode 8. Or we could have just had Episode 8 be completely different. That would have been fine too. Boyega also said that he would have liked the sequel trilogy to spend more time with original characters so that they could properly pass the torch to new cast members like himself, Daisy Ridley, Oscar Isaac, Kelly Marie Tran. I feel like Star Wars fans needed more time with those characters that we love so much, he added. And if co-stars like Ridley or Isaac were to return for new films, he said he'd be the first in line to buy a ticket. But as for Finn's story, I'm good on that, he says. Okay, so seems like he wants to return only if everyone else is returning and if there's a good story there. Which, yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. Like, I feel like Finn could have been the most interesting character of the sequel trilogy after Kylo Ren. Or maybe even before Kylo Ren. You know, a stormtrooper who uses the Force, and as we saw in the end, he was Force sensitive, so it's like, we could have just sort of extrapolated upon that at the very beginning. And having a stormtrooper that becomes a fully fledged Jedi is like probably one of the most unique stories, out there in Star Wars that we haven't really explored yet. And to see what his connection to the Force is, why does he have a connection to the Force? Is it just random, or is he actually somebody? I think that would have been really fun to dive into as well. But it is what it is, and I think his idea of getting more time with the original characters would have been, I think, one of the most important things of the sequel trilogy, and I think it would have made us appreciate the new characters so much more, because instead of feeling like these new characters are taking the spotlight from the characters that we would have loved to have had more time with, especially after being apart from them for 30, 40 years, I think it would have only bolstered their roles, and we would have been clamoring to see more of their character development in future films once, let's say, Luke Skywalker dies in Episode 9, or once whatever happens. And I think that that's mainly the biggest issue with the sequel trilogy, is not so much that it was disjointed and the writers didn't communicate, so we're told, and so the actors themselves say. But I mean, that's one thing. But I think the main thing is that these characters that we waited 40 years to see, such as Luke Skywalker, we didn't get to see enough of him. We didn't get to see a deeper understanding of his redemption or anything that he's been through. All these flashbacks that we're getting in The Mandalorian and all these other shows like Boba, I feel like could have been done and explored in the sequel trilogy, just as they did with the flashbacks of him trying to kill Kylo in his sleep. They could have done with many other things as well. Perhaps he was sitting around the campfire telling Rey about what happened after Return of the Jedi, what happened with his father's helmet. We could have gotten more of a detail on the Knights of Ren. Perhaps they had something to do with Vader. Maybe they were like loyalists to Vader, and they are now on a hunt to kill Luke because they think that he, just like the rest of the galaxy, killed Vader. But I think overall, John didn't like his role in the sequel trilogy. I think he would have appreciated if they had emphasized more on his overall turn and his powers and abilities, which they just mentioned loosely at the very end of 9. It's like, oh, he's got powers. It's like, oh, okay, well, where was that, the first 2 films? So his understanding of that, his understanding of us needing more time with the original trilogy characters to pass down the torch, would only help to shine the new characters. Instead of now we just look at them as like, you took away something that was so important to me and all these characters, so I don't like you for that reason. That's how it's kind of done with the writing. It's not the actor's fault. It's the writing's fault. It's the writers. It's the directors. So if they want to bring them back, I hope that they know now a lot of the different things that they could have done to make the sequels, in my opinion and many people's opinion, better, and to fit George Lucas's story as a whole. I think if they work together going forwards and have a concrete plan and outline, hiring Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I think things would be a lot smoother, a lot more there's a lot less discourse. There wouldn't be as much of a divide in the fandom. You know, it was never like this. Like, sure, the sequel trilogy caused a divide, but it was never this bad. And I really think that's because of the sequel trilogy. And I would like to see it fixed. I would like to see Star Wars fans come together again, and I would like for it to be like how it was in the, you know, the 90s, in the 2000s, the 80s. I don't know. I wasn't alive, so I think John has a great understanding of what the sequel trilogy needed, and I hope that they listen to his ideas going forwards if they want to make some future projects and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty cool to always read his interviews and his ideas, because I think he has a great grasp on Star Wars, and I think a lot of our opinions align the same way. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I hope you have a great day, and remember, if you like the sequel trilogy, if you don't like the sequel trilogy, at the end of the day, we're Star Wars fans. Be nice to each other, be cordial to each other. It's okay to have differing opinions. It's okay to not like something. It's okay to like something. At the end of the day, we're just enjoying a movie from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So be nice to each other. That's all we have in this world, and hopefully we get some new Star Wars projects that are really riveting and exciting and planned better. So have a great day. May the Force be with you, and until the next video.